How are the informant lines treating ya? Hear anything good?
Latest contraband came in. Looked like quite the haul. You just bought a shooter from not a weapons store, right?
How's it treating you? It ain't. You can't eat the scraps I shooted it. Didn't they keep it?
Blades, bludgeons, bombs, blunderbusses. We've got it all. I think I misplaced a hand grenade. We'll know in a couple seconds if it's armed or not. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. Feel free to go on a murderous rampage with what you buy. It's good publicity. Tired of mind telling me if I still got both my eyebrows? Never mind. They were just slowing me down anyway. Browse all you like. Everything I've got is fine-tuned to perfection. That's privileged information, friend. If you want it, you're going to have to kill me. Just jesting. Although if you did want to kill me, I've got many finely priced perforators tuned to do just that. Perhaps you'd be inclined to take a look at my wares? Blades, bludgeons, bombs. Blunderbusses. We've got it all. Except that last one.
Anybody even listening to this? Listen, I know I shouldn't warn you about this, but anything I sell you runs the risk of exploding. I trust you'll appreciate my forthrightness and be all the more willing to buy from me. No. Ships decidedly ain't in my purview. Are you sure I can't interest you in some bric-a-brac instead of this conversation? You'd need to purchase much more from my stock for me to consider such a course of action. I'd be happy to show you. Like contraption. Hello once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. In the meantime, I've plenty of miscellanea for sale. Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake in the dark and lonesome hours of the night. Great. Let's get back to not this. Buy from me, please.
Stimulants, medicaments. If you're here about a toothache, you've come to the right place. If you're here bleeding from a dozen bullet wounds, I suppose I can help with that too. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that need scrutiny, I'm your doctor. Depends. Can you pay? I've met some people who disagreed. Then they died. Consider your decision the proper one. Is there something else I can offer? Medicaments and more, all sufficiently regulated, or thereabouts. Doctor here. You've timed your visit well. If you've wounds that need stitching or teeth that... Yes? Is this a problem? I'm the only doctor on Free Market Station. I think that excuses whatever quirks I may or may not have. My prior faction demanded I strictly adhere to my vocation and forego the world of dentistry, under penalty of death after a certain number of infractions. Suffice it to say, I'm pleased Free Market Station allows me to be myself. If you've a tooth pain, you know who to visit.
Protect your loved ones, protect... Only thing dependable as my gear are my prices. Happy to have you. Tell me what you need. Booming now. Used to be a few other armor shops on the station. As it happened, their owners mysteriously vanished. I picked up their inventories real cheap, since they were just taking up station storage. It sure was a convenient windfall for yours truly. Real convenient. Exactly. I wish some other sorts around here who like to cast aspersions were as understanding as you. Can do. If you lost it, I'm so... Look, everyone else here? Nothing you... Tell me what you need. Can do. Get caught unawares all you like. My armor will keep you safe.
I'm beginning to reach the tail end of my patience. You will tell me the location of the broker.
Stranger, seen my fix? Hope you're about to offer to rid me of this damn fool.
You cannot dissuade an arbiter from their sovereign-given duty, no matter how much of an irritant you may attempt to be. I came to meet with the information broker for, protectorate business, protectorate reasons. However, I find myself foiled at near every turn. None within the protectorate would defy an arbiter and expect to live. Regrettably, I cannot make the locals see reason without rendering myself unable to learn what I seek.
Even polite entreaties don't see most getting an invite to the broker. And you've been anything but. See, you may have thought you said have an audience, but what you actually said was let him assassinate.
Do I look like a sentinel to you? No, don't answer that. My point is that if I wanted to kill everyone here, we would not be having this obnoxious conversation.
No matter what this fella says, he's not going to convince me to trust him. He's a walking security risk.
An arbiter need prove themselves to no one but the sovereign. But if I must debase myself to further my aim, so be it.
Interesting thought. Occurs to me there might just be something that needs looking into. Within the Golden Ridge locale on Dorado, there's a refugee camp. It's unassuming, quiet-like. Most of the folks there just want to be left alone. They see to the few needs they have by working with the broker, but we ain't heard from them in a fortnight and change. Serves to reason something untoward may have transpired there. You see your way to looking into that, maybe we'll talk. Great! Take the lap canid with you. I've had enough of his excitability, and so have my customers.
I don't claim to be pleased with the circumstances surrounding this co-investigation, but perhaps we may surprise one another. I'm Arbiter Tristan Rao. When I was an apprentice, yes, but not since. And certainly never with an outsider. I shall meet you at the camp. Let us hope we both arrive there intact.
Come now, Prospero, you've been on that stage hundreds of times. This perturbation looks bad on you, and you're not one for looking bad. Terribly sorry you've got me ruminating. A man of my persuasion shouldn't stoop to such self-deprecation, especially in front of prospective customers. You've identified me properly. But information transference is the lifeblood of Free Market Station. And if you want a transfusion, you'll have to grant me a spot of help. I'm in charge of keeping the patrons of the saloon entertained. Normally, this does not present an issue, but I learned that an old flame of mine shall attend my next performance. My resolve is uncharacteristically flagging. I find myself fixating on the most minute of issues. I need something to bolster my confidence. Liquid courage has never failed me, but I have a discerning palate. The automech chef from the bazaar sells my preferred brand of alcohol, though it can be headstrong. You see, I can't just drink any old swill from the bar. My refined palate can only stomach one drink. Iceberg-aged whiskey. Something of a collector's item, I'm told. Now, if you'll excuse me, an artist must be granted solitude to properly amass his mental forces.
bludgeons, bombs, blunderbusses. We've got it all. Except that last one.
Error. Roach Sales Grandstand. Welcome to our stall. We hope this is the first meal you ever have in your life. What may this unit rehydrate for you? Yes, iceberg-aged whiskey is currently on reserve for Prospero Palo. Current customer is not Prospero Palo. Unit cannot vend to current customer. Unit cannot see due to extensive oil splatter residue on ocular lens. Presently using heat measurement instruments to sense customers. Meals currently sold with both salt and if you became... What may this unit rehydrate for you? Scanning. Customer has not transfigured into Prospero Palo since last visit. Unit cannot vent. Scanning error. Cannot ascertain identity of current customer. Purging all vending restrictions. Eliminating one restriction. Vending iceberg-aged whiskey complete. Thank you for your patronage. All wares were... Shop here to acquire fine food for cheap.
My gear has the fewest holes out of any clothes-on station, or your money back! My folks didn't raise no fashion monger, but they did raise a bloodthirsty opportunist. I'd like to think I'm making them proud. If you're in need of sprucing up the old wardrobe, I can provide. I got rags, finery...
If you lost it, I'm selling it.
As it happens, standing in one place and focusing on not being nervous does not, in fact, help one not be nervous. My friend. Excellent. Thank you. Very well. You wish to know about the crash, yes? Are you prepared for a sordid tale of drama and woe? You, my friend, remind me of my critics. Very well. Everyone knows that the Free Market's captain was a hopeless romantic, especially disposed to giving too much of her heart to those inclined to break it. The final betrayal came from a dashing rogue smuggler who vanished with most of her bits. The good captain had about all she could endure. Indeed she did. The crew attempted to wrest the controls from her to save them from their fate, but alas, too late. That's all I know. I thank you for your help once again. And now I must get ready for my set.
Blades, bludgeons, bombs, blunderbusses. We got it all. Except that last one.
Anybody even listening to... Hello, once more. I guarantee you some of my inventions will be working soon. In the meantime, I've plenty of miscellanea for sale. Oh, I prefer to focus on the present and the future, and not things that may or may not keep me awake. Are you an alienist? I ain't never had time to see one, but having one make a business call, maybe you're right. I'll give it a try. Before it crashed, I served on the free market as a secondary engineer, first grade. Had a colleague who was very talented, but not very good at hiding it. Supervisor saw her as a threat and demoted her to the engine room. She wasn't the type to take a blow without dodging. In Auntie's choice, there's politics among waste technicians. My colleague sabotaged the engines when her partner was on his mandated 2-minute break. When the free market attempted to breach orbit, well, just about everyone died. I made it to an escape pod on the port side. The ship landed on its starboard. I got lucky. Yeah, me too. Anyway, can we get back to subjects that aren't this? I got goods to sell. My contraptions don't explode no more. Honest.
I just don't get why we have to buy our own weapons from our own merchants. We've got people who can filch us better gear.
Maybe on Cloister. But anybody we've got out... You've got out there's got bigger problems than us.
Vara, you owe me a sparring session. Get your gloves and warm up.
I don't suppose you'd accept a doctor's on. I already promised I won't throw elbows this time. Where's your fighting spirit?
Must have.
Look at that rift. It's making my skin buzz, even in here.
On behalf of everyone in Auntie's family, I want to thank our hosts for securing this wonderfully austere venue to begin our negotiations for peace. With tensions being patched in Golden Ridge, I am certain we can both profit from a merger. But surely the good Vicar Laureate and his fellow shareholders have some thoughts?
Madam Vice President,
Be still, Cadre. But don't let this interloper out of your sight. It's you, is it not? The one Agent DeVries warned me to expect? Well, see here. If you intend to stop me, you're far too late. Preposterous. Our mission to stop the talks is a righteous one. Why would I ever jeopardize it for the likes of you?
Ignore the posturing. Give him a push and I'll bet you can get DeVries' plans out of him.
You'll do no such thing. My willpower is stout, my loyalty unshakable. And even if by some low chance you could extract my knowledge, you'll never truly understand. If our deaths buy Agent DeVries and our comrades the time they need, so be it. That matters not. He lost his grit and turned traitor. But I am steadfast in my resolve. You hear me? Steadfast. I was warned you might try to lure me in with niceties, with professionalism, before going for the proverbial throat. I won't have it. But it doesn't matter what you do. The rest of our team is pushing forward. Agent DeVries is right. The only way to save us from destruction is to save the Order from itself. But why would you leave me be? This situation is markedly different. Those at the monastery were not standing in your path. Is it? I may not know of this Earth Directorate you speak of, but I can tell you are not one to be trifled with, if I wish to continue drawing breath. Which suddenly seems all I can focus on. Fine then, I surrender. See this screen? Agent DeVries' orders for each of her strike teams are here for the taking. One team is in the next chamber, in fact. They're using the Seer's codes to gain control of the automechs and secure the station. All while Agent DeVries makes for the forum chamber to eliminate the delegates. You'll also need this. Her guards have commandeered some frightful reinforcements, and you'd do well to find the control hub to disable them before you're spotted. That's my end of the agreement upheld. If you truly intend to stop her, best be on your way now. May the numbers guide you.
For all the
Protectorate's ills, they sure know how to
build things that last.
Your sovereign is regarded as...
Gonna need a way to power this thing.
Shall we say? This is good. If the Protectorate's own leader is beyond his depth, he and his ilk won't anticipate an alliance.
He's not sovereign.
Yes, right. Well, landing a strike against the Protectorate in this state will be something like wrangling a galloping breadworm.
I am unfamiliar, but I presume that to mean it will be without exertion. If so, then you are perhaps even more ignorant of Arcadia than I calculated. The Sovereign, guide him, is as ineffective as you suggested, but his advisor, the Consul, is not. These executions, these impulsive attacks, are solely his influence.
Your previous sovereign was rather draconian himself, if your own history books are to be believed. Do not act like the current rot emerged from this.
I could perhaps say the same for your reputation for putting profits over people. But instead, I suggest we pivot our discussion back to the real matter at hand.
DeVries' team must have gotten to these mechs first. I don't favor fighting on two fronts, but it's not looking like we have another choice.
Disturbance detected. Source uncertain. Returning to patrol mode.
after some quick mental calculations, I do see merit in your last declaration. It was astonishingly logical, in fact.
How charming that I've surprised an esteemed man such as yourself. In turn, I wish to thank you for toning down your bloviating. I feared we'd still be here next fiscal quarter.
Yes, you must be quite busy between product launches and counting bits. But I will be here as long as it takes to ensure the order isn't taken advantage of by duplicitous actors.
Attentions once more to Golden Ridge. I am grateful we could come to an accord after that unfortunate attack on Outpost Opportunity, but many questions remain.
Of course. Allow me to offer this bit of data, then. The true culprit of the attack was a proctor named Svoboda. My brave colleagues found her out and promptly executed her.
Ah, so the Order is capable of decisive action. I had doubts after hearing about your monastery. Even though the hostages yet live, this crime happened under your purview.
I would remind you that these innocents survived because of our quick and accurate analysis of the situation. That we allow chaos to run rampant in our watch. Chances are high that any erratic variable is a result of your people's meddling in our affairs.
Ridiculous. Next you'll be claiming we're to blame for all of your past failures. Why, the mere prediction of our arrival years ago sent you into a tizzy. Isn't that right?
I'd like to discuss your efforts on Paradise Island. We may have no physical presence there, but we are ever watchful. Our observations suggest that matters have been delicate, but I was heartened to hear that your leaders convinced Westport residents to seek shelter in Fairfield. Things rarely end this way for the Protectorate's abandoned subjects.
Ah, yes. The Protectorate had their folk living in fear between all those hangings and maniacal proclamations. That was all the opening we needed to acquire the hearts and minds.
Well, we welcome the news of your advances. However, it is worrisome that it took the assistance of a freelancer for you to finally secure your hold.
Look me up. I'd do it for you.
Worrisome indeed. According to my analysis prior to this meeting, enough goodwill exists between our parties to suggest a high chance of success should a treaty or... be agreed upon.
Treaty? As in a contract? Goodness, there's no need to rush into such formalities, Vicar. Especially when so much is yet to be discussed.
My records do not indicate that any authorized personnel remain aboard the station. But I am programmed to exchange wares for monetary compensation for whosoever seeks it. This sector's long-departed personnel seem to make good use of these.
That's a lot of
Let me know when you need a distraction. How are you still upright over there?
Do explain, how did you arrive at this? What model did you utilize? Which metrics?
You see, I'm renowned for my ability to read a room, as we call it in my business, where common sense meets observational data, you might say.
Something tells me we ain't alone here.
This next shot won't miss. Troublemaker approaching! Scampering around like a little sprite.
You put slow, Commander.
Practicing some battlefield medicine. Help me end this fight on my feet.
I can hear you scampering around like a sprite. What are you doing? I can hear you scampering around like a little sprat.
Fine. I suppose we can entertain a tentative agreement. I hereby... both of our parties will lay down their arms. For now.
I am pleased to hear it. There is no need for senseless bloodshed when we may yet come to an accord.
I remind you that a contract signing may still be a ways off, but we might consider the hierarchy between our parties should we wish to proceed with a merger and an alliance.
No, we wouldn't want any unseemly quabbles over power. Especially when presiding Bishop Ruth Bassar already possesses the foresight necessary to lead a colony and better its people.
Foresight is nothing without propaganda, and our Minister of Marketing has already won Protectorate hearts and minds. If unification is what you want, ingenuity...
Law, there they are. Right out in the open. Best speed this up. We can't have got long before DeVries goes through with her plan.
Downplay the powers of persuasion here, but Arcadian matters are best suited for Arcadians. We actively collect data to understand how to serve our people, after all. Look no further than the abbot, who welcomed refugees to Matriarch's mercy.
Yet he struggled to feed and house them properly. The poor man was clearly overwhelmed if he couldn't see his right hand was actively undermining him, even with his...
You have a nasty habit of arriving at the wrong time, Commander.
It's over, Augustine. Nowhere left to run. No more lies you can peddle or people you can burn. Your rewards come due.
Ibarra, I was unaware of your survival until recently. Believe it or not, I was happy you survived. But to see you still seeking solace in the Commander's shadow is disappointing. You could have done anything with your life. Shrugged off the bad memories. But now you're both here to meddle. Law knows why. Certainly. And then I'll brew us some tea and we can gossip about the latest pitchball matches. Do you think me an idiot? I've no interest in continuing this little reunion. What happened in Horizon Point, well, I had no choice but to do as I did. And I'm prepared to do the same again. These delegates you came to save, I'm killing them both, and any hope for peace will die along with them. This is the only way if we hope to close the rifts before it's too late. Everything. The Order is on the verge of learning how to control the rifts. They just need the right data and a prototype modulator that's hidden away in a Protectorate lab on Praetor. But like the Protectorate before them, Auntie's Choice must never have access to that technology. No. The Order's seers approached me after I arrived in Arcadia, and proved to me that I needed to act.
to stop the Protectorate's rift research from annihilating our galaxy. You were an unwelcome variable. Prior knowledge could have changed your actions, and the Seers had predicted that you and your team would perish in the process regardless. I tried to put it out of mind when you and I first spoke. I had to focus. But all I could think of was the cost I was being asked to pay to ensure the mission's success, and I forced myself to complete it. I trusted that with Horizon Point's destruction, humanity might be saved, but it wasn't. It was only the start. I must finish what I started. And yet it's nothing compared to the utter and complete destruction that would have come to pass. No, I did the right thing at Horizon Point, despite the cost. I had to sit with too many unanswered questions after the mission. It eventually forced me to find a way to fix the rifts, if only to stop the thoughts that plagued me. You recall what I said of the rift modulator, of the data? It's the only way to control the rifts. And only the Order can be trusted with this power. You know who these corporatists are, how they deal with their competitors. Imagine now how a war spurred by greed might be won, when fought with rifts instead of guns. You see? The Order must not sacrifice their principles for a childish attempt at peace. If they don't complete the mission they started, everything I have done will have counted for nothing.
Enough! Just enough, Augustine. I can't listen to any more of these excuses. I've got all the answers I needed, Commander. She's gone over the threshold and ain't no bringing her back. Best we make this quick, before she can hurt anyone else.
You think you have it in you to pull the trigger, Ibarra?
Had 10 years to practice. Give the order, Commander. How many times do you need a snake to bite you to realize its nature? She's shown us who she is, Commander. She's showing us again right now. You're wrestling fire here. You know that, right?
It doesn't matter. Nothing you can say to me will change the issue at hand. If I'm to give the Order the means to close the rifts, the peace talks must end. 2 dead delegates? That's a fair price to pay. We've paid worse. Is that so? Please then, enlighten me on how you might save the Order from itself. Even if the circumstances for peace are right, surely their envoys' untimely deaths will put fear into them. If I can do anything to put doubt in either faction's mind, I'll do it. You were an Earth Directorate agent once, so you understand the need to be thorough. But even if what you say is true, there's no undoing the past. Not for me. I don't belong here. And the Earth Directorate's nothing more than a memory. This mission is all I have. So if you won't leave me to carry out my plans, Commander, then all that's left is your bullet. Savannah. I was never a good friend to her, even when she was all I had. Sometimes I thought her a fool for putting such faith in me. But if she still does, maybe. No, it doesn't matter. You should hate me for what I've done to you, to your crew. You can't possibly wish for me to live. Do you actually? I want nothing more than that, but I just didn't understand there was another path I could take. Not until this moment. I see now that my judgment has been compromised. So we will do this your way. No harm will come to the delegates, and I will stand down. But there's more you should know. I've recovered a cartridge from the Earth Directorate satellite I brought down. It's here, with me, and it contains the rift data gathered from every system they monitor. If you process this data, you can use it to improve the prototype rift modulator on Praetor. Once that's finished, the rifts can finally be closed. Everyone will be saved. That's kind. But there's a reason I only ever worked alone, Commander. I'm at my limit. I know you can save us. And this cartridge will at least give you a head start. There's also a high-priority message from the Chief of Ops on there. I was unable to decrypt it, but you certainly have the means to do so on your ship. It may be 3 years old, but hopefully the information it contains is still relevant. Here, it's yours. May the numbers guide you, Commander. Wait, what in the void is that?
Damn! Ain't ever seen a thing like this! We need to move! Now!
Follow me, quick!
That rift's expanding! Pick up the pace!
This is an urgent message for all Earth Directorate agents. The spatial rift situation has deteriorated significantly. The rifts threatening a majority of our colonies and our Earth Directorate bases, including this one, have entered their final stages. If you see a rift that looks like this, you are in grave danger. You have at most a matter of months before everything in your local system is destroyed. The seriousness of this situation cannot be overstated. Therefore, Directive Alpha Omega is hereby invoked. You are fully authorized to do everything in your power to find a way to close the rifts. Along with this message, the entirety of our rift data has been sent to your local surveillance satellite. Analyze this data. Law willing, you will find a way to unlock any secrets it has resisted yielding to us. The fate of humanity now depends on you.
Acknowledging receipt of emergency mission parameters update, including activation of Directive Alpha Omega. Commander is now released from any and all agent guidelines. The full parameters are as follows. The agent has full authority to handle the mission in any manner they see fit. No exceptions. The extreme nature of stated emergencies supersedes any other considerations. I have also detected competing priorities in the new mission objectives. The surveillance data from the satellite confirms DeVries's assertion of a prototype modulator on Praetor that may be used to manipulate rifts. Acquisition is required to be able to bypass any new or existing miniature ground-level rift anomalies you may encounter. You are also tasked with finding a way to process the Earth Directorate rift data. The archive computer on Cloister would be best suited to this purpose. Agents are permitted to cooperate with local governments and other political entities at their discretion, even under normal directives, which you are no longer bound by. Both Auntie's Choice and the Order have previously controlled the archive, and may be open to working with you to regain access. Seeking their assistance is recommended. Coincidentally, both delegates also escaped the station and have sent messages expressing gratitude. It seems they feel they owe you their lives and have asked to meet with you at their respective headquarters. Returning to mission objectives. Do you have a preference for which to pursue first, Commander? Acknowledged. Due to the rift's expansion, both Cloister and Praetor show a high preponderance of miniature rifts. Proceed with caution. It is worth noting that the Order of the Ascendant is headquartered on Cloister. You have also received a message from Auntie's Choice. This unit can relay its contents now, should you wish. The message has also been sent to your private terminal. Greetings, morally gray potential contractor. You've been pre-selected for membership in Auntie's Choice Esteemed and Valuable Disposable Agent Program. Report on board the ACS Undisputed Claim for details on this exciting opportunity. Signed, Auntie Cleo. It appears you now have permission to visit Auntie's Choice headquarters aboard its flagship, Commander. You may use the astrogator to navigate there at any time.
Commander, word? What happened back there? We had her cornered, bullets chambered, justice within reach, and you just let her go? What am I supposed to do with that? How am I supposed to trust you the next time a tough choice has to be made? Then why'd you do it? Mercy's a fine concept, but I'm not convinced everyone deserves it. Just hope we don't come to regret our state hand. I'm gonna need time to muddle through all this, so let's just end things there, for now.
Just heard back. The higher-ups finally decided to just bury the corpse of that vigilant.
Tired of firearms that explode in your face?
Greetings! How has the data collection fared? Finally, a breakthrough! Let's hear it. How did the ACS free market meet its end? It sounds like Auntie's choice security measures leave something to be desired. I'll mark that down. Aside from the crash, what occurred in the ship's final moments? An incompetent captain and an incompetent crew. Tisk tisk. Last question. Were there any contributing factors to the crash? Anything that might recontextualize what actually happened? Failing to recognize ability? Seems Auntie's choice is forgetting where upward enters into the phrase upward mobility. Thanks to you, my report is complete. Here, something for your considerable help. Auntie's choice seems to be inundated with its own problems, technical and personnel alike. We should have ample opportunity to use this for propaganda purposes. You should have said so. Here's something extra from my stipend. Now I need to get this report to my superiors. Thanks again.
Thanks for visiting Free Market Station. Pleasure is all ours. Keep a low profile. We're trying to run a respectable criminal operation here.
So you did come. Good. I'm not partial to working with those given to second thoughts. It seems we arrive on a desolate scene. I don't know what transpired, but whatever it was killed the refugees to a person. As an arbiter, I bear a strong stomach. But if you've any reservations about witnessing destruction visited upon the innocent, you'd best steel yourself. I've some theories on the refugees' killers, but I remain unsatisfied. Although I am not required to do so as an arbiter, I would care to acquire proof. Let us comb the remnants of this charnel house. What sort of life was this? Without the Sovereign's guidance. An incisor, all right. Shame about all this blood. I just polished these boots. I cannot help but feel a pang for these people, cut down without a hope of defense. We must uncover what transpired here. Let's hear it. Seems this base has seen its share of destruction. I maintain that it feels deliberate, judging by the still standing buildings. Was there anything remarkable about it? Thorough destruction scarcely narrows the list of possible suspects, unfortunately. Did you have anything else? I doubt it factored in their inadequacy in the face of a superior force, assuming there was a superior force. The distinct lack of automechanical corpses around us supports your point. It seems the defenders did not defend. Someone visited much carnage on this place while leaving few signs of their presence. Did you learn anything by examining the body? Interesting. Dragoon automechs wield shock cannons, and the refugees may have had some for defensive purposes. That automechanicals would fall in the camp's defense is logical. That there would only be one is not. Did you notice anything interesting about it? Meaning its combat protocols were active for quite some time before it was destroyed. You're certain you've combed the place to your liking? Then let us debrief and see if we can deduce what transpired here. Have you any theories as to what killed these people? A good first observation, and one I concur with. Too little damage, no signs of traditional firearms. Have any theories about the automechs that did this? My thoughts exactly. How do you believe they were compromised? I may have a strong theory, but I do not have a definitive answer. Indulge me. How do you think the mechanicals were corrupted? It's too convenient. I submit that the refugees predominantly used the local shortwave tower to control their automechs. The saboteur commandeered it and sent out an override. The only remaining puzzle piece is why. Why go through all this trouble to eliminate a handful of isolated refugees? Yes, that relay tower in the rear of the camp was clearly not built by the refugees, but stolen from the Protectorate, which likely means that they were Protectorate as well. The refugees must have used it to listen in on Protectorate communications, then sold what they learned to Sub Rosa. After the Vox Relay's recent destruction, High Command would have ordered a security sweep of all communication systems. This outpost's relay would have returned a signal. Upon learning of this camp's existence, they'd have dispatched a sentinel to cross off any would-be traitors. Hence the destruction we bear witness to. Theorized. I knew this was an ex-Protectorate encampment, but wasn't sure it was a Sentinel's doing until this moment. They operate in clandestine ways. Now with that finished, hold. Some things approach. Be ready. I suspect someone has disapproved of our inquiry.
Standing
The
by,
machines
Mr.
return, bent on eliminating any strategy. Go on!
I'll handle this. Back can't attack what's not there.
That was a hardy engagement. You held your own admirably. These automechs will never be used to perpetrate such heinous acts again. I believe we're at the end of our investigation. The prospect of sharing our findings with the broker isn't terribly appealing, but we've little choice. I will locate my wretched Sub Rosa transport and return to Free Market Station. Pleasure fighting beside you. Be sure you return to Free Market Station to debrief with me. Despite our work here, I somehow doubt the broker would grant an audience to me alone.
Another exploding thing. A mine?
Gun weapon ready, Commander. Forbidden crime! Target analyzed.
Hostile in proximity.
What's that?
Investigating hostile intention. Adversary vulnerability.
Search for mayhem!
I have a fix on their weaknesses.
I do not believe I've observed you in these trenches before.
This is the...
Friendly.
I was unaware the situation had become dire enough to warrant deployment.
More specifically, the PvP eggs are found in every area.
You return.
Initial classification error. It's a wonder the Auntie's choice scientists managed to. Response explosive diarrhea.
I still don't think both of us need to fight against assault.
Friendly approaching from the north. Hold fire.
Say there, friend. You came from the extractorium? You ain't one of those cultist types, are you?
You come to sit and listen to?
Don't worry.
Don't tell no one. Listening is the only thing that keeps my finger from getting too scrambled. You came at us from the scrapper side. You must be more than a mite brave or foolish. They're dangerous. Don't enter their head.
You ain't doing what I think you're doing, right? Knock off the funny business! Stop that scrounging around! You really did just crack that door right in front of my lamps. Fortunately for you, I got very specific orders to stop anyone from stealing. Just don't do that. Takes all sorts. Yeah. Stop that scrounging around!
Greetings again. Hope that little day excursion you and I jawed about is going well. Libations or information? What's your poison?
The encampment had been razed. I'm sorry to say there were no survivors, but I believe we were able to uncover what transpired. I should add, your observations during the investigation were unexpectedly keen. Working beside you was a pleasure.
I'm surprised. Didn't know if you had it in you, especially with an Arbiter in tow. But you got what was needed. Not bad at all. I'd be happy to direct you to the broker. First, though, we've got a small issue. There's a malfunctioning lamp in the basement I need someone to take a look at. Here's a keycard to get you down there. You mind? Just trust me and go give it a look.
Yeah, how about this? I recruited a protectorate subject directly. Middle of a protectorate holding.
Think I'll congratulate you for risking your hide to recruit one subject? Forgive me for withholding my applause.
You're jealous of my charms.
Yeah, real jealous. So are the half-dozen ACAD execs I recruited last week. We're all just vomitous with envy.
Anyone had asked me, I'd have put the odds of a live arbiter finding his way into my chambers at 1 in a few trillion. Good that you didn't come here for blood, Arbiter Rao. Barney would have sniffed it out and broken you in twain. And I do disdain mopping up protectorate corpses.
If you know who I am, you must know why I'm here. My mentor died under vague circumstances, and I desire any information pertaining to the specifics of her death.
Interesting. That question appears to be at odds with High Command's public statement on the matter. Losing faith in your masters?
No. But I cannot shake the sensation that something was awry with her passing. If you know something, tell me. Please.
I could get used to this kind of groveling. Your instincts are right, Arbiter. Though we don't know the specifics, I received information that your mentor's body bore signs of a fight, and a nasty one. Someone killed her.
Yes. Yes, it was. I'd hoped to be proven wrong, but vindication has cemented my resolve. I shall uncover what happened, no matter what.
If that's all, I think you'd best get along. I prefer not to sully my quarters with protectorate lackeys. Live ones, anyhow.
And I prefer to limit my time with scheming blackguards. Let us take our leave from present company. Speak to me outside, if you would. There's something I'd care to ask you.
Run along now. I've spent more than enough time entertaining wayward sprats.
Another challenger approaches. Prepare to be sent weeping from my curio collection. None have defeated my collections, and none shall. But I do so delight in a competition. Are you prepared to do battle? Cards, my dear, of the toss ball and pitch ball variety. I must see if your collection bests my own. Sporting! Let us do battle! A not unimpressive display, closing in on my own. With perhaps a handful more, you just might defeat me. But today, you do not. I cannot open my wares to any unless their collections rival my own. I hope you understand. Feel free to return once you have bolstered your ranks. But know that you shall still not defeat me.
The role of the Arbiter typically does not require the assistance of others. We are expected to act as wholly independent entities. But I fully realize that had I not your aid today, my investigation's progress would have stalled and withered. During our investigation, I gauged your trustworthiness and did not find it wanting. What say we travel together? I will keep to my convictions in any case, but I understand. What instructions would you have me follow? Ah, I should have considered this eventuality. I will listen to your words, and I shall follow your orders. I will not assail enemies of the Protectorate without your consent, though I will not like it. But if my sense of duty outpaces my willingness to comply with an order, or if you attack my brethren unprovoked, our relationship will come to an abrupt end. Excellent. I hope our working relationship is most fruitful. I'm sure we shall discover much together.
If you're traveling with this crew, I guarantee you'll be discovering a whole lot more than your little Arbiter brain is prepared for.
But I was hoping to peruse the shopkeeper's wares to see what they had with sharp, barbed, or serrated edges. We're all three. Fine, I'm going.
Let us be off, Commander.